Hello everybody. I stand before here today to discuss upon the topic business letter writing. Now the biggest question that comes to mind is why do we need to discuss such a simple topic which is known as letter writing, which we have been studying for ages. But the question here is that yes, we do know how to write letters, but we are really forgetting the actual way or the right way, the structured way to write a business letter which is following the standards of today. Now, let me first clarify that why do we need to take up a video lecture like this on letter writing. Now, letter writing is considered to be a highly professional piece of writing. Now, what do we mean by this professional piece of writing? When I talk professional, I seriously mean that we should be following the 3 P's of professional writing, and these 3 P's are people-oriented, precise, and purposeful. What is purposeful? Purposeful here is that whenever we are writing any kind of a business communication, right, then that needs to carry a purpose. That should be purposeful. I mean, you cannot write anything without any particular reason. The second is people-oriented. What do we mean by people-oriented? Yes, of course, in today's scenario, we are writing letters, we are writing emails. Now, when we are writing email, we consider that we are writing something into the machine, but not actually into the machine. We are writing for somebody who is sitting on the other side of the machine. And the person who is sitting on the other side of the machine is a human, right? So we should be considerate about the person whom we are writing to. We should understand his needs, his desires before we write something to that person. And the third is that it should be precise. We cannot write narratives, we cannot write stories when we are talking about precision. That it should be precise, it should be brief, it should be concise, it should cover all that what you want to cover as in a letter. I mean, whatever your agenda is, that should be covered. Now, as far as talking about why business letters and professional writing. Now, let's come to the question that will come to your mind, that in this age of internet era, why do we need writing? Why do we need to study business letters? Because people don't have time to read all these letters today. But the question here is that when we talk about emails also and when we talk about letters, letters do carry a legality, right? The internet or the emails are still not very, they are not very leak proof, or you cannot very credibly say that yes, one X has not written and Y has written. So letters, they form a very legal purpose. They can be recorded also. So the purpose of letter writing is that they carry legal, that they have a legality to it. And then second, they are useful for a recording purpose, that you can store them for future use. One more thing that comes to our mind is that whenever you're writing something on your own, when you are using your mind, when you're using yourself, you're writing as a person, yourself, your personality comes into being, comes into the picture. So whenever I read through your letter, probably in case I am a good judge of character, I may be able to judge that what kind of a person you are. So your personality also is reflected by the way you write a particular piece of writing. Now this comes into why business letters, what is the purpose. Now the most technical thing about business letter today is the elements of business letter. Now let's come to the elements. I will be talking here about only the compulsory elements of the business letter. The first element is heading. Now heading is what? Heading is the piece of the letterhead on which you write the letter. Now in case you don't carry a letterhead, then what is the method of writing the sender's address? Now that what I will be covering here. For example, you are a corporate by the name of Lions Industries. The heading should carry your organization's name, then it should carry the full address. For example, you reside at 36 Carter Road, Bangalore. So this is your full address here. The heading should also necessarily contain your phone numbers, your fax number and your email ID. So the phone number here, this I am talking about the heading. Heading as in the letterhead. You can also follow the format here like Lions Industries, 36 Carter Road, Bangalore. And then here you can give the phone number, the fax and the email ID. Now this will go into the heading on the top of the page. Now heading, when we are talking about heading, in case you don't have a letterhead and still you want to write a letter, then what we will do is you can write your address on the top left hand corner of the page. Now in today's scenario, we necessarily follow the block format. I will not be dealing into the types of format in this lecture. So we need to understand that block format is the most currently used format, and this block format it goes well with the word processors that are being used today. So how does a processor work? That we start writing from the left hand side of the page and then we keep typing. Now block format also necessarily states that there should be no indentation. Now this is the address. No indentation means that you don't have to press the tab or you don't have to press the enter button and you have to write like that. Now block format says that no punctuation marks. Now currently punctuation marks are not also very welcome. So once you are writing this, the heading, that is the sender's address. Now this is the sender's address. Now in case I am writing here Lions Industries, you don't need to put a comma here. The commas these days are not very welcome. They are not wrong to be technically speaking, but commas are not very welcome. So this is the heading. The second element that comes here is date. Now there are various formats to write the date as well, but the format that we'll follow is, for example, I write 17th September 2015. Now this is the format that is well accepted. Now for example, let's take one example. In case I write 7/8/15. Now as Indians, what will we read is? We will read it as 7th August 2015. But Americans, how will they read it? They will read it the other way around. So it's always safe to write the date like this, which is more acceptable, more readable, more understandable. So after the sender's address, I am writing the date 17th September 2015. Now after the date, the element that comes is the receiver's address. Now here I will write my receiver's address, to whom I am sending the letter. The next element that comes is the salutation. Now what is salutation? Salutation is how you address your receiver. For example, I write, "Dear Mr. Ashwin." Now this is the way we write the salutation. One question that comes to mind is, in case we are writing dear, are we showing any kind of endearment for that particular person? No, this doesn't stand true in today's world, because dear is as much a formal word these days. So you can even write to your seniors, to your professors, like in case you want to write dear. Otherwise, in business communication, we put a colon here. The trend of comma has disappeared. The comma is used only in case of personal letters. So, in case of business letters, we use a colon here. So, dear Mr. Ashwin. Now, you can also address a person. For example, she's a lady and you want to write Miss. Any name you can write, Miss Aishwarya, for example. Now, the trend of writing Mrs. is again disappearing, because the people are, the women, they do not want to address themselves as being married or unmarried. So, the safest title that you can use is MS for any female. Okay, the next after salutation is the body of the letter. Now, the body is, again, we have to keep in mind is, in the block format, we are not using any kind of indentation. So, we will start writing from the left hand margin, and in case we need to change paragraph, then also you can leave some lines here and again start writing from this only. The mistake that we are continuously doing is that we intend this second paragraph. This should not be repeated. Okay. One more thing which I have forgotten here is that the trend of writing to is also disappearing. We should not be writing to here, because to, again, it takes a lot of space and it is no more required. To you can only write in case you think the address is too small. It only occurs from 3 to 4 lines. Then you can write to. One more thing here is that the ladder style should not be followed in the receiver's address. Ladder style is, then again you give an indentation here, then again you give an indentation here, then again. So this trend is no more followed. This is wrong. Now, one more reason that I can give you is for not following these trends anymore is that we are writing these letters on word processors. And when we use word processors, we'll take a lot of time and energy to keep pressing the buttons. And we have become more and more lazy, so we don't want to press more buttons. So it's always safe for us to not intend anything and just keep it left aligned. So after the body of the letter, you need to cover whatever you want to write in your letter. Then the sixth is the complementary clause. Complementary clause is that when you want to bid a goodbye, when you say that you are done with your letter, then you write the complementary clause. One more thing here that we should keep into mind is, for complementary clause, we use yours sincerely, faithfully, yours faithfully, yours cordially. We need to pay attention here is that I haven't used the comma here, this comma. Now, why haven't I used this comma here? Because when I put a comma here, it means your is, which is wrong. So, we use yours faithfully. Now, yours sincerely. Again, faithfully should be avoided as much as possible. Why? Because we are no more slaves now. Britishers did ask us to write faithfully, because we were slaves then, but now we are free. So, we are free people. So, we need to write sincerely or cordially. Whenever we are confused what to use, then sincerely and cordially are the safest terms to use. So after the complementary clause, the next comes is the signature. Now signatures are they are very important in a letter because they will give some legality to your writing. So we need to sign in our letter. We need to write a designation in case we haven't mentioned it somewhere else. So for example, I sign as Sheetal. I need to mention my name here in capital. And then my designation. I need to mention my designation in case I haven't mentioned it anywhere else in the letter. So this is about the signature part of the letter. In these elements, I have covered the compulsory elements of the letter. In the next subsequent lectures, we will take some more elements which are known as the optional elements. Thank you so much for giving me a patient ear. Thank you.